To today's news bulletin, I'm Zandile Mpapane. Recapping stories making headlines. Their Majesties today commanded ESWATINI League of Churches to announce that Easter services will start on the 14th of April. His Excellency the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Kingdom today at the Cabinet offices announced that a technical team has already been set up to look into preparations of the Sibaya National Dialogue. Founder of Mountain of Salvation Church, Prophet Major Vusi Dlamini, urged Yemaswati to respect each other's religious beliefs. Before we get to our bulletin, that message was from Water Aid ESWATINI, and it is all about encouraging Yemaswati to adhere to COVID-19 regulations. Getting back to tonight's bulletin, their Majesties today commanded a League of ESWATINI Churches to announce at Lutsitsini residents that Easter services will start on the 14th of April. We have a report.
Kwathi makholwa wongela kangwane nangaphandle kwaleli kuthi sethi inkonzo tekufane kuvuka kwenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu tinkonzo lesitibita uthi Good Friday leti inkonzo ke bafundisi niyaceleka ukuthi umhlangano wenu uyaqala mhla ka-12 khona esigodlweni elithithini ngalesine mhla ka-14 bazalwane baphelela bonke khona elithithini bamelele ukuqala inkonzo lesihlanu mhla ka-15 lapho khona sitabe sikupha kufanele kuvuka kwenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu shothi ngalo mhla ka-15 sisesondweni lesive sikupha kufa kwakhe bese kuthi ngemgqibelo mhla ka-16 bomake basekhenyeni lakhe elithithini bafundisi basenkabezweni kuye umlisi ngwenyama mswati wesithathu ngelisondo mhla ka-17 seyinkonzo estadium sigubha lisuku lekuvuka kwakhe ngemsombuluko mhla ka-18 sivale isindlovu emhlaba mhla ka-19 sivalelisa ingwenyama enkabezweni niyacelwa ke makholwa gcina isikhathi nga-10 o'clock senihleli phasi esondweni lesive ngalomhla ka-15 namhla ka-17 nga-10 o'clock senihleli phasi estadium sesilindele kufuka kwemakhosi kufuka kwemakhosi kusho ukuqala kwemsebenzi ngiloko bazalwane bayethe wena ungabezikabaza kumabhovu uyimbubi yesaba kuhle mathole ezinyathi siyacela nje kakhulu longakajove akajove ngoba kuthi abalukhulu lokuthi longakajove ahlangana abajovile ngoba kulukhulu lokuthi nase uthole lo mkhuhlane ungakajovi kugcina kwehlula kanaso ujovile bathi laba ka health uyakhona nekubuya ekhaya siyacela jovani ke bazalwane nakulindela kwethu sihlangane bonodwa singasonzelani phela kakhulu kuze sikwathi kuvikela lesifo lesisiphethe bekunene gcineni covid silindele kahle bekunene noma ke sesiya kumanzana siyogeza asihambe ngema groups ungahambi wedwa live selathabuka indlebe kufuna noma kukhona abantu labaniphazamisako kanje uthi nibanenge bangana ukhona kodwa na uhamba wedwa usengodini siyacela bekunene nasenuwele umgwaqo nuwele kahle lapha emgwaqweni.
His Excellency the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Kingdom today at the Cabinet offices in Mbabane announced that a technical team, or rather a technical committee, has already been set up that will look into preparations of the Sibaya National Dialogue. We have a report.
The highly anticipated national dialogue is almost upon us. The Prime Minister briefed the press about the preparation ahead of the event. His Excellency announced that a technical committee working towards the national event has been set up and that preparations are at an advanced stage. The Prime Minister addressed the probable and past behaviors of people with sinister motives.
The nation will also recall that His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, chairperson of the SEDAC organ for politics, defense, and security, after consultation and concurrence with His Majesty, issued a statement on the 2nd November 2021 to signify the intention to embark on a process that will work towards the establishment of a Sibaya National Dialogue Forum. It is of high importance that the Constitution of the Kingdom of Eswatini was upheld to be the lodestar and purveyor of all proceedings, including the defined role of Parliament. His Majesty had previously advised the nation through Lutzizini in Vuna on the 23rd October 2021 that he would summon Sibaya for a national consultative process. His Majesty called upon the nation to work together to prevent differences from escalating into violence. Instead, he urged the nation should maintain peace whilst awaiting the commencement of the national dialogue. In order to satisfy the obligation of ensuring that the dialogue takes place in a transparent, peaceful, and inclusive manner, the preparatory work is at an advanced stage. A technical committee has been set up to prepare for the dialogue. The committee will ensure that the dialogue is conducted in line with the relevant constitutional frameworks, which have always encouraged dialogue and resolution of issues under Sibaya. Furthermore, His Majesty King Yemaswati III is committed to making sure that every voice is heard.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza with Kimberly Mavuso, Cabinet.
The Deputy Prime Minister's office today gathered at the Mountaineer Inn Hotel in Babane, whereby members of the office looked into ways to improve services that are rendered to Yemaswati. We have a report.
The Deputy Prime Minister's office convened with several departments in government in order to discuss ways that they could improve as far as service delivery regarding the issues brought before the Deputy Prime Minister's office. The Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Timba Masu, detailed the plight of those affected, mainly the elderly, the disabled, and vulnerable children.
Lubuketa lo sifuna kubuka ke lamhlanje yini lokusikhinya betile yini le kungakasikhinya beti sitokhona kuchubeka kahle siphinde sibuke nendzaba debantu labadzala ukuthi bantu labadzala baphatheke njani ihlala kahle yabo siyakhumbula ukuthi live niketa kuya esibhedlela kwabantu abadzala nasebana 60 bangakhiphi lutho esibhedlela tahulumende kunemali lokuthiwa labayiholayo bantu abadzala labanye bayihola ngenyanga labanye bathole ngaleyo kota ngoba labanye bahola ebhange lokunye lesikubuka kwenyalo indzaba yekungcwatshwa kwabantu lase bakhulile.
The Deputy Prime Minister further extolled his workforce for their tireless efforts to help effect social change in the kingdom.
Sesibatshelile ukuthi sifuna ini but akuthola kule tenda ngito tonke ke letinto lesitinakelele la lengifuna ukugcizelela ukuthi nawusebenza kule office lePinland Nangulu ufuna kube nenhlitiyo eligolide the heart of gold ngesizathu sokuthi letinto ditsinza inhlitiyo yemuntu ufuneka ke sikhone kubeketela.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza, Babane, Baban.
India High Commissioner, when presenting a donation at the University of Eswatini, mentioned that she is hopeful that there will be future collaborations between India and the university in terms of academics. We have a report.
This relationship has started last year in September after a meeting with the Vice Chancellor Registrar and the Indian High Commissioner, and the journey together has been continuing in a positive trajectory. That is why today the Indian High Commissioner donated books to the University of Eswatini. According to the Indian High Commissioner, Her Excellency Radha Venkar Varasman, she stated that it is pleasing to note that they are able to connect the faculty of the University of Eswatini with colleagues universities in India for possible collaborations in academics.
In view of the huge demand existing in the kingdom for various academic courses in India, and to cater to the demands of more and more students from Eswatini to study at premier academic institutions and universities of India, Kingdom of Eswatini was brought included as a focus country under the Study in India program by the High Commission.
A number of issues were discussed, ranging from areas of cooperation between the Indian and Eswatini universities, providing logistical assistance to the university in terms of programs, in assisting the university in areas wherever it is possible for the High Commission to offer its services. During that meeting, the acting librarian and the Dean of Humanities pointed out the gap in the library collection in areas of Indian history, Indian culture, and Indian religion.
The Vice Chancellor, who is Professor Twala, was also present to receive the donation. The books donated are 75. I am Nhlanhla Twala, reporting for Yemaswati channel at Matapa.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in at Yemaswati channel. I am Zandile Mpapane. Before we get to our bulletin, that message was from Water Aid ESWATINI. It is all about encouraging Yemaswati to adhere to COVID-19 regulations. Well, 1 billion rising representative during an interview with our reporters today mentioned that unemployment is a major contributing factor for gender-based violence. We have a report.
And Social Services, in partnership with the International Labour Organization, held a meeting at the Royal Villas this morning with several stakeholders and agencies within the ministry in order to discuss possible future collaborations. The meeting's objective was to work towards signing memorandums of understanding with the various entities involved. Representing the Principal Secretary at the ministry was Under-Secretary Anthony Masilela, who thanked the ILO for providing technical support. Masilela stated that he was grateful to have seen this day.
The aim was to assist countries to leverage on the minimal available resources for labor compliance promotion through implementing a strategic compliance portal. One of the steps of implementing the strategic compliance plan was forming collaborations with other agencies within the labor space as synergies and cover more through pooling of information and resources. In 2018, the Kingdom of Eswatini, realizing the opportunities provided by this ILO project, government availed herself to be amongst those ILO member states in whose jurisdictions the ILO Strategic Labor Compliance Plan on labor inspection can be introduced. Following that, several trainings were facilitated by the ILO in 2018 and in 2021, respectively, and eventually in April 2021, the Strategic Compliance Plan, SCP, was then implemented. The ILO is continuing to provide technical assistance towards the setting up of the Eswatini Strategic Compliance Plan portal, which is now up and running with the task team.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abungi Mabuza with Kimberly Mabuso, Ezulini.
$1 billion Rising campaign says that there are many factors that perpetrate violence against women from men. One of those being that when men are growing up, they are told that they are always superior against women. Ms. Tolane Tlachwago from 1 Billion Rising campaign also mentioned that the lack of jobs also have a negative impact on the violence against women.
How do we ensure that we block circumstances lenda umumfu ukuthi agcina ase aba violent? It can be ukuthi yes, upbringing. It can be ukuthi how is the socio-economic status of the country. Simekuphi na engabe lizinga lephuya lisetulu, chances of being violent they are high. Siphinde sibuke the issue of ukuthi issues of employment. Do we have jobs? How is the education system? How is it also molding lo mumfu lo tawukhula abe mumfu wakusasa? The justice system, is it fair? Is it just? Are people happy ukuthi nangabe umfu afika a report alqala uthola justice? Or are people deterred noma ukuthi bevangaza ukuthi aningabe ndiqala because ngiyabona umthetho unemadini? So all these things and creating the environment in such a way ukuthi si understand ukuthi yes, laba abuse kakhulu bomake nemantombazane, but this war is not only for women. Yes, we cannot leave them out because they are the most affected, but we need everyone to be part of this. We want the church to be part of this. We want traditional leaders. We want any religious beliefs or whatever, and everyone in the society, the corporate, so whosoever, let's join forces.
Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I'm Gary Carlos Manzini.
Founder of Mountain of Salvation Church, Prophet Major Vusi Dlamini, mentioned that Yemaswati should respect each other's religious beliefs. We have a report.
Uyabatshela ukuthi umuntu unetithunywa letimbili uma ngabe utawusinziswa kanu nalo moya walamadloda vele lamadloda atakuhlupha lokusho ukuthi umoya wamadloda into lekhona mbamba njengoba nathi sangenwa ngumoya wabo Elijah nemoya wabo Moses ngoba nabo Moses bekubantu bemlingo lo moya lona gere uyahlupha kakhulu ungathi ngike ngithi mina uma uye eZayoni noma uya kulaba baprofeti bakhona kusiguqula lesithunywa silaphe ngesikholo manje ke uma ufika ke la kule nsinziso uyukhanza ukuthi labantu abafundziseki kahle ngemadloti noma ngetithunywa ukuthi yini lesithunywa ukhuluma ngani na ukhuluma ngesithunywa sithunywa siyakubamba ungaphumeleli kungako uma ulandzela iBhayibheli encwadini yaSamuel wokuqala lo chapter 28 lithi lo Sawula wathi qosha tonke tinyanga netangoma even lakhe but lithi ekugcineni waqina saye sangomeni ayokuva safike samtshela ngemuntu lofile wavuka Samuel wakhuluma ngifuna ukuthini labantu laba bafundisi noma laba baprofeti kudzinga lokho ukuthi labantu babatshele kahle ngemoya obunzawo ukuthi yini uyahlupha vele lo moya so uvela uvukile ngoba kukholwa na ubuka sekulimele kakhulu.
Members of the interstate who are responsible to transport women who buy stock in... What are all the news we had for tonight? But before ending tonight's bulletin, let's take a recap of the stories which made headlines. Their Majesties commanded the ESWATINI League of Churches to announce that Easter services will start on the 14th of April. His Excellency the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Kingdom announced that a technical committee is already set up to look into preparations of the Sibaya National Dialogue. Founder of Mountain of Salvation Church, Prophet Major Vusi Dlamini, urged Yemaswati to respect each other's beliefs. Well, that's all the news we had for tonight. Do have yourselves a beautiful evening. Good night.